Hey everyone, how are we doing? Thank you so much for joining my page, following it, to follow me along on what is going to be my journey very shortly. I wanted to give a little bit of a context as to why I have decided to have this surgery. So I have struggled with my weight my entire life. It has something that has been really a lifelong battle for me. I have been on various diets and stuff over the years. The earliest time I remember going to Weight Watchers, I was still at high school. Okay. I have done calorie counting journeys over the years, and by the most part, I've always been very successful. So that's something really important here, is that I know how to lose weight, and I can do it. There was one time when I did a calorie counting journey, and I lost just over 40 kilo. So I can do it. So for my adult life, I have really yo-yoed between 100 kilo and 145 kilo. So currently I am sitting at 143 kilos. What I have discovered is that I can get as low as 100 on these journeys, on these weight loss journeys. But it always comes back. And it always comes back with a vengeance. I need to be very strict on those journeys. And I constantly feel like I'm battling. Like it's a constant fight. So super strict diet to be able to lose the weight. And as soon as I relax it at all, the weight comes back. Now I have suffered... I've lived my own mental health journey. I do suffer depression, anxiety. I have been medicated since the age of 15 for that. And a very common side effect of many of the antidepressant line of medications is weight gain. So doctors have always been very clear to me that that doesn't help. Basically, that's really not helping my cause. And then what happens on that is we double down that as soon as I start putting even a little bit of weight back on, the guilt and the shame and the disappointment leading to depression comes back. And then in a way, I'm just like, whatever, bugger it. So I just go back to living life normally and it all comes back, like I say, with some more. Hey Joanne, thank you so much. So I have considered weight loss surgery for about 3 years now. In that time I have been to my GP twice, and they have run every test under the sun, every test imaginable, to see if we could find something wrong with me, to see if I could get myself on the public surgery list. Fortunately and unfortunately, the GP has never been able to find anything. Blood pressure, fine. Diabetes, not an issue. So even though I'm overweight, the cholesterol, the blood sugars, all of those things haven't, at this point, ever become an issue for me. So I've never had the grounds to even go onto the public list. A couple of years ago, when I first approached the Christchurch Weight Loss Surgery Clinic and inquired about it, got the prices, got them to send me out of pack, etc. And I did make an appointment to go and meet with the surgeon. I backed out. I just wasn't ready. Wasn't in the space. However, end of last year, it just felt right. So I contacted the clinic and I have been in to have my consult, and the decision has been made. And I will come on and give you another discussion on actually what the process is. So I'll cover that another time. But this really just is about why I'm doing it. So as part of my job that I've been doing for many years, and it doesn't feel like a job because I love it so much, my motto in my business is to empower, educate and entertain women. And whilst when I was younger and I would put on this weight, I hated myself for it. I scathed myself for it. Over the last 8 to 10 years, I have learned to love myself, really. Because if you don't love yourself, no one else is going to love you. And I don't even think you can love someone else if you don't know how to love yourself. So I have learned how to love myself. A huge motto in my business that anyone that is part of my VIP tribe, that I know a lot of you are on here, thank you, is that sexy is not a dress size. Sexy is not a skin color, a hair color, a body shape. Sexy is an attitude. And that really stands out for me. And that's something that I have been very, very cautious to make very clear to people, that I'm not doing this to change how I look. I love myself. My body has taken me on some really exciting journeys around the world. Remember before COVID, you could get on a plane and go to a different country? Those were fun times. But I've gone on journeys around the world. It has produced the most beautiful baby, my 8-year-old boy now. It has carried me through many journeys, and I love my body for it. I love my stretch marks because they're like pages of a book. They tell my story, and if they hadn't have happened, I wouldn't be who I am today. I honestly wouldn't. So I love my body. I'm not ashamed of my body. Yes, I have insecurities, but another thing I've learned through my work is that it doesn't matter if you're a size 6 or a size 26. You have insecurities. It's the same as girls with straight hair always want curly hair. Okay, we always want what we don't have. So yes, I've got insecurities about my body, particularly mine is my stomach, my tummy area. But I love my body. That's not why I'm doing this. I'm doing this to allow me to live life. Now, what I mean by that is that my marriage ended 1.5 years ago, okay? So when my son was younger, if we would go to the park, it didn't matter if I sat on the sideline and was the one taking the pictures, because his dad was always there pushing him on the swings or running up and down the flying fox with him. But that's changed now that I'm a single mum. For his birthday a year ago, he got a new bike. So excited. Loved his new bike. All about the bike rides. For the first few weeks, this bike had to go between my house and his dad's house. Like, it was in the boot of my car. It had to go. We were not going to Daddy's without his bike. He doesn't even bring it back here anymore. It just stays at his dad's house. Because I don't ride a bike. I haven't ridden a bike since I was maybe 18. I have bad hips. I was born with bad hips. Bikes with my weight, that's a no-go. And he wants to go on bike rides, but apparently I walk too slow. So that's one dream I'm hanging on to, is that I'm going to go for a bike ride with him. I'm going to lose some weight. I'm going to buy myself a bike, and we're going to go on bike rides. And even in the Christmas holidays, the two of us flew down to Invercargill to visit a friend and her family, and I walked with my son and her daughter to the local park. Now, this was only like 800, 900 metres away, but we had to go up a hill and then down the hill to get to the park. By the time I got there, I was a sweaty mess. I had to sit down on the grass and catch my breath and let the sweat run away. And all my son wanted me to do was to help him on the flying fox. And I couldn't. I had to catch my breath. I wanted to be in that playground playing with him, but I couldn't. And the pain my body feels at the end of the day, I don't think anyone that has lived with obesity ever understands. I'm 143 kilos. My body is probably designed to be, say 80 kilos. Let's say 80. That's a lot of weight. That's 60 kilos extra that my body carries around every day. My ankles, my knees, my hips, my back. And it hurts. It really hurts. And I'm putting pressure on my body. So those are the reasons I'm doing this. I'm doing this to be able to live my life fuller and to spend more time with my son, more valuable quality time making memories. I'm not doing this to change my body because I love my body. Yes, it's going to change. but I'm doing this to get more out of life. Now, it's not going to be easy. Everyone's told me that, and everyone's like, this is a tool, it's not a magic fix, and trust me, this is going to be harder than any diet you've ever done. But I'm ready. I think, like 99.9% ready. I don't know. Ask me again on day 3 of pre-op diet. Let's see how that goes. But I just wanted to come on and explain my reasons. Like I say, very clearly, I'm not doing this because I'm ashamed of my body or how I look. It's not why I'm doing this. I'm doing this to live life to its fullest. So again, thank you along. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's do this and see what happens.